Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channels. So yeah, in this video, we are going to showcase POC project. So that's the name of the project is email categorization and product feedback analysis. So this is a proof of concept or prototype solution for a particular problem statement. So it is not the complete solution of a problem statement. So let's first try to understand the problem statement first. So yeah, so we have a company which sells different products to their clients, and they sells a variety of products, and some of the categories of products are ERP based softwares or ERP based products, CRM products, appointment booking softwares, and others. So that means a company sells the customers the ERP based products, CRM based products, appointment booking softwares, and others. And once the company sells their clients the products, so the clients use their products, and after using they share some feedbacks, right? So that feedback is usually shared via email, right? And then since the company has a lot of clients and then they sell a variety of products, so the number of incoming emails that they receive in the form of feedback is also in millions, right? So the kind of feedback the customers hear via email is like sometimes they ask for help regarding how to use the product, right? And sometimes they share their frustrations and anger via email if in their product they face any kind of software bugs, or if any kind of technical issues is faced in the product. So and sometimes they seems to be really happy and they praise the new features that's been added into the product and via email. So the customer sends the feedback, and the feedbacks has a lot of sentiments. So one can be extreme anger and frustrations because of bugs. Another can be the happy feedbacks because they like the new features that's been added into the product. And sometimes they kind of request for help because they don't know how to use it. So that's the problem statement, right? And so the main objective is to solve this problem statement. And for solving this problem statement, what we need to do is the company want us to categorize the different products. Let's say there are varieties of products and each of the product has their name, and then each of their product can be categorized into either ERP, CRM, appointment booking softwares, and others. So just based on the emails, you will be receiving an email, and then we'll analyze that emails and figure out which product they are talking about in the email, and then based on the product we extract, we have to categorize that product into any of these four categories. So another one is, since in the email the customer shares their feedback about the product, we have to identify the sentiments associated with the product. So whether it is related to the angry feedback, so whether the customer is showing the frustrations or sharing the frustrations and angers via email, we have to identify it. Whether they are happy, they are showing, they are sharing their happy moments, or they are praising the new features, we also have to identify those sentiments. And another one is we also need to figure out whether they are in some kind of help, whether they need some help from our technical team or something like that. We also need to identify those sentiments. So we have to identify 3 different sentiments. And the last one is we also have to generate the title associated with each of these sentiment and product. So that title can be, let's say we receive an email, and then we receive an email, and in the email they mention about the product name Appointly, which belongs to appointment booking software kind of category. And then the sentiment was, let's say they are requesting they receive a software box. That means they are angry, they are showing their frustrations, and we can create a title, we can generate a title like software box and Appointly, right? So yeah, this is the overall problem statement we have, and we need to design a machine learning solution to categorize the products into 4 different categories like ERP, CRM, booking, and others. And we also have to identify the sentiments associated with the product, whether they are happy about their product, praising new features, or whether they are requesting for help, or they are showing their frustrations. And last one is we also have to generate the title associated with each of this email, right? So yeah, that's the overall problem statement we have. And now let's try to implement it, and let's try to work through the demo session. So we have already written a lot of code, and so yeah, we have written a code, and it has been properly documented in GitHub. So in this particular video will show you how we can run this this project or this POC in our own working environment, right? So yeah, without getting any further delay, so let's try to run it. So first of all, we have to copy this URL, and then we all have to come into here. So here I'm just going to git clone, and then I'm going to paste the URL over here, right? So and then enter, and then it will clone the repository, and it will create a new folder in our desktop folder. So let's go into my desktop folder, and here we have email categorization and product feedback analysis. So yeah, it has been loaded into our repository, right? So you can see here, so we have OpenAI app, and then we also have custom AI app, right? So now let's try to install all those requirements that we have. So before running this project, we need to install these requirements, because without these dependencies and requirements, we cannot run our project. These are the libraries that our project utilize for its successful running. So yeah, for installing all these dependencies, so let me first clear it. So for installing all these dependencies, we need to create a virtual environment. So virtual environment is an isolated environment, where we would be installing all our packages. So before doing this, before running this project, we have to create virtual environment. So let's first of all create our virtual environment. So if you have Anaconda installed, then you can just write is conda env list. So it will show you the list of virtual environments you have, right? So we have this set of virtual environments. So let's create one. So for creating it, conda create -n, and then I'm going to name this virtual environment is, let's say, POC, right? So this is the name of virtual environment, and I can specify the version of Python. So since in our project we have used Python 3.8.0, so we can just specify Python 3.8.0. So we can also specify the versions, and then you can just press enter, and then it will create a virtual environment. Let's say it will install Python package from the internet, right? You have to have the internet connection for doing this. So yeah, let's wait for a couple of moments. Yeah, after some time it will ask you whether to proceed or not. You can just type in Y, so that means you are okay to proceed, and then it will download and extract the packages that need to be downloaded for creating a virtual environment. Okay, we are done here. So for activating, so after creating a virtual environment, we need to activate it. So for activating the virtual environment, so we need to use this command. So conda activate POC. Let's write it here, conda activate POC, and then you can create it, and you can see this virtual environment has been activated here. Previously we used to be in base environment, now we are inside POC environment. So this, we have created it. So this is the virtual environment. So now let's navigate to our folder. So the name of the folder is email categorization and product feedback analysis. So let's navigate into this directory. Okay, so let me clear it, and then you can see this is this is our project directory. We have custom AI app, and then we have OpenAI app. We have used 2 different approaches for doing the POC. So OpenAI app is completely relying on OpenAI services. We need to provide OpenAI key, and then custom AI app is like an hybrid solution where we have created our own custom models for product categorization and identifying the sentiments associated with the email. And for the title generation, we have used OpenAI, right? So yeah, so before running this project, let's install all the requirements we have. So for installing all the requirements, we need to use pip install -r requirements.txt, and then you have to press enter. You need an internet connection, and it will download all sets of requirements that's needed for this project. It will take some time since there are a lot of libraries that needs to be installed before running this project. So let us wait for some time, and then we'll be able to run it. Okay, seems like all of the packages has been installed. So now what we need, let us clear this, and then now let's see, we have already installed it, and then let me show you the demo of OpenAI app now. So for this, I'm going to navigate into OpenAI app here, and then I'm going to see what all things are here. So here we have tm_API_key.text. So as I mentioned that this OpenAI app is completely relying on OpenAI services. So we have to provide the API key, right? So for providing the API key, so let me just see what's inside this tm_API_key.txt. Okay, so here you have to write, add your OpenAI key here. So you have to write something over here, and then you have to add this key here, and then only you would be able to run this project. So yeah, so now I'm going to open this file and then copy my OpenAI key. Okay, so let me go inside here, and then here I have to provide my OpenAI key. So since key is a credential and it's very important, so I'm going to pause this video for a moment, and then after I added the OpenAI key, I'll again come back. Okay, so so now we have already copy the API key into this text file. So since the OpenAI key is like a important credential, so we don't need to show that in our video. So now what we need to do, so since we already have the key, so that is the dependency that is required to run this project. So because our whole project, our whole POC is completely dependent on this OpenAI for this part, for this approach. So let's try to navigate into src directory where our source code is, and then you can see we have app.py, Streamlit app.py. So we have two different apps. So this app is for hosting the API services, and this app is for showcasing you the UI for this project, right? So let's try to see what's inside app.py. So let's say, so we have this is a fast API where we also have a Streamlit app. So this is the UI, and then from this UI we will write the email, and then this email we usually post it. So when you get the post request, it is forwarded to this URL, and then in this URL we have a function that is just listening to the request, and then once it gets the request, it will all the necessary functions to categorize the product, analyze their sentiments, and then generate the title. So this all thing will be done by the OpenAI key. And then this service is usually hosted here. So let me try to run this. So let's try to copy this, and then let's try to paste it over here. And so we are usually, what we are doing is we are usually trying to, launch our fast API service. Okay. So yeah, so this application has already started. So now we also need to start our Streamlit application. So for that, I need to, so I need to create another terminal. So let's say I'm opening another terminal, and inside this terminal also I need to, let me did it big. So inside this terminal also I need to create my environment. So I've already created an environment, so I just need to activate that environment. So let me say conda env and then conda activate. The name of environment is POC, right? And then okay, so conda activate POC. Okay, so you can see this environment has been activated. So let me clear it. And then now what we're going to do is, so we need to run this application. So for running this application, what we need to do is Streamlit run Streamlit underscore app.py, and then click enter. So once you hit the enter, so you will be getting a beautiful UI for this. So here you are going to write the test email, and then you will have to click on the predict button. So when you click the predict button, the fast API service will get the post request, and it will call the necessary modules to categorize the product email, and then identify the sentiments, and then generate the title. So let's see. So send some test emails over here, and then we'll use the predict. So I have curated some list of test email as well. Let's say email servers database. So these are the list of email database we have. So let me try to use any one of it, right? Okay. Okay. So let's say I'm going to, okay. So email subject praising for new features. Okay. And then I'm going to paste it over here. Coded for latest features, the new repeating module in your ERP software. Let's say write the software name. So any ERP software name. Okay. Okay, I'm going to write give me the name of ERP software products. Okay, we're gonna use let's say NetSuite ERP. Okay, so NetSuite ERP, and then I'm going to provide instead of new ERP software, I'm going to write this. NetSuite ERP is fantastic. It's exactly what we needed to analyze our financial data effectively. Let's say regards customer name. Okay, so now we can just hit on this predict button, and it will do the product categorization and identify the sentiments, and it will also additionally generate the title for this email, right? So let's hit on this predict button, and then you can see the sentiment, customer sentiment is a happy response, since it is praising for features, and the product title is kudos for latest features. And then inside the product, we have product name is NetSuite ERP, and then we have a product category as ERP software. So yeah, so that's it for the demo. So this is how it uses OpenAI services to categorize all these set of products. So now we also have another approach for solving this problem statement. So in another approach, we usually used so let me open another terminal. So let me go back, and then you can see, let me again go back, and then here you can see custom AI app. So inside custom AI app, you can see we also have to add the API key over here, and we had a notebook files, we have a source file, right? So I think the additional details on how to run this project is already available in this GitHub. So you can just go inside custom AI app, and here I have documented how we can use this, so setting up a virtual environment, everything, and generated data set. So I think there are data generation steps that we need to follow, but I do not recommend you to follow these steps. I just recommend you to directly follow from these steps after custom model training. So before doing the custom model training, you just have to download this data, So its name is product email.csv. So this is the data that has been generated by OpenAI. So it is the pre-processed version of it, and then we'll use this data to build two different models. One is email sentiment analysis model, that is text classification, and another one is product categorization model, that is using NERs, right? So we'll just download it, and then so once we download this, we will store it inside the data directory, right? So we just have to create another folder called data here. So data folder, and then models folder, and a lot of folder. Just create a folder named data here, and then you just store it here, and then you would be able to run these notebooks. So once you create a data folder and save the data that we just downloaded here, then we just can write cd notebook, and then cd notebooks, and then here we have a lot of things. So we can just use first email sentiment classification using TFIDF.ipynum. We just run this notebook file, and then we also run this notebook file for inferencing. And then for another part, that is product categorization, we use first of all email product classification using NER, and then we use email product classification using NER inference. And then after we run all these 4 notebooks, then we need to follow the steps that we just did, that is setting up the FastAPI service, and then setting up the Streamlit app, and then we can just test it on our test email. So yeah, that's it for this demo. So I hope you enjoy this. So see you all in my next video. Bye bye.